is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day.
These are the new BoomPop 2S headphones from Oraimo. I've been using these things for about 2 weeks now, and I can say that at about $25, these are very interesting headphones for both very good and very bad reasons. Let's talk about them. So firstly, Oraimo is a company which makes electronic accessories such as power banks, smartwatches, and headphones. These are their latest pair of headphones called the BoomPop 2S, and it comes as an update to the original BoomPop headphones which were released in 2021. These are not to be confused with the BoomPop 2 headphones. I'm going to talk about the differences later. Firstly, the unboxing is very straightforward. When you open the box, you are welcomed with the quick start guide, the aux cable, a USB Type-C cable for charging, and the headphones. As soon as I got these headphones out of the box, I immediately spotted two things I really disliked about the headphones. The first thing being the color. I mean, look at these. Nebula blue and green. What? But I quickly realized that it wasn't going to be a big deal because they will always be on top of my ears and I won't be able to see them while they're on my ears. So the second thing I didn't like were these folds on the material covering the cushions of the ear cups, and these really annoyed me because they hide these folds on every advert which you see about it everywhere, even on the box. And design wise, I personally think it ruins the overall aesthetic of the headphones. Besides that, I think these are really good looking headphones. I don't know, a lot of people think otherwise, but that's my own opinion. The ear cups can rotate 180 degrees, making them easy to pack and carry around, but I think that the hinges which are holding the ear cups would break easily if you don't handle them with care, so be careful. The headbands are made of metal, so I don't think that it would break anytime soon. I will talk about how comfortable they are later. I personally give this design a 7 out of 10. It would have been a 9 out of 10 if the ear cups weren't so ugly. All of the controls of the headphones are on the right ear cup, and the controls on these headphones are the worst features of the headphones. I think these are the worst controls I personally have ever seen on any pair of headphones ever before. I will talk more about them later. On the right ear cup, you have a volume up button, a play pause button, the volume down button, and the power switch. These headphones also have some very unique gesture controls which make them stand out from all other headphones, including very high-end headphones such as the Sonys and the AirPods Max. So typically headphones would usually have a touchpad on one of the ear cups which you could use for things like play, pause, increasing the volume, or hanging up a call. These have something similar. They have gesture controls, so instead of physically touching the ear cups, you raise your fingers about 6 centimeters away from the ear cup and you perform this gesture to play or pause a song or to hang up a call, and this gesture to skip a track. You can only skip a track, you can go back to the previous track. I'm sure that a lot of you already see scenarios where this would be a problem to use, but I'm going to talk more about my personal experience with this function later. These headphones are in-ear headphones, meaning that instead of the ear cups sitting on top of your ears sit inside the ear cups, making them very comfortable to wear for extended periods of time. And as soon as you put the headphones on, you get some degree of passive noise cancellation which blocks out sounds like light rain, an air conditioner, or a very small fan in a laptop. The second most important thing about headphones after sound quality is comfort. And I'll say that these headphones are actually very comfortable. At 200 grams, the headbands do a great job of distributing the weight evenly on your head and the ear cups as well. And I would give comfort on these headphones 8 out of 10. The headphones have Bluetooth version 5.3 and can connect to up to 2 devices at the same time, and you can seamlessly switch the audio which is playing on the headphones between these 2 devices. For example, you could be connected to your laptop and to your phone at the same time, playing music on your laptop, and when you receive a call on your phone, the audio on the headphones switch to your phone, and when you're done with the call, it continues playing the media which was playing on your laptop. It's very, very nice. When you turn the headphones on, they will immediately connect to the last device which was connected to it if it is in range. And if you were connected to your phone and laptop previously, it's going to automatically connect to both at the same time. And if you would like to connect to a new device, you could just press and hold you could just press and hold the volume up and volume down buttons at the same time. You hear the sound saying it has been disconnected, and you can now pair a new device. I would give connectivity on these headphones a solid 8.5 out of 10. Now, let's talk about the most important aspect of any audio device, which is sound quality. And I'm sure that a lot of you have already guessed that at $25 this should sound horrible, but I can boldly say that they sound okay, and not XM5 or AirPods Max level of sound quality, but they just sound okay, and I think a lot of people are going to love it. I think I can compare the audio quality on these headphones to the Microsoft Surface headphones from back in 2019. I think they're about the same audio quality, and I chose the Microsoft Surface headphones as a base of comparison because I've actually used them and I know what they sound like. They actually sound quite similar to a certain extent. Out of the box, the headphones are tuned with Oraimo's heavy bass technology, which is basically just an EQ which just boosts up the bass of the headphones and make the bass sound more punchy and really overshadow other instruments. I loved it for a while, but later on I discovered that it wasn't for me. But luckily there's an app called Oraimo Sound which you can pair your headphones with and change the EQ settings there. I prefer mine at standard. I think it just sounds okay at standard. Okay, so one thing that I totally forgot to mention about these headphones while I was making the video is there was a lot of latency while I was streaming videos on YouTube and Netflix from my laptop, but for some reason I didn't notice that issue when I was streaming from my phone, but I could solve the problem using the Oraimo Sound app. There's a mode there called game mode, and when you switch it on, it's going to reduce latency in whatever type of thing you're streaming, be it games or videos. And also don't forget to subscribe if you've been enjoying the video so far, or at least just like the video. It's a lot harder on these videos. Okay, back to you. Okay, now let's talk about the controls on these headphones. And as I said earlier, they are the worst controls I've ever used on any headphones ever. Okay, let me explain. So on the right ear cup, you have the plus button and the minus button, and instinctively you might think that pressing and holding the plus button would increase the volume, or pressing and holding the minus button would decrease the volume. Then pressing the volume up button, the plus button once should skip a track, and the minus button once going back to the previous track. But here everything is just the opposite. So in order to increase volume, what you have to do is you press the plus button once, you release, you wait 1 second, press it once again in order to increase the volume. So if you're leaving from 0 to 100%, you have to be doing this until you get there. So you get what I'm saying. And if you press it too fast, it ignores what you're doing. And you would think that pressing the plus button once should go to the next track, but instead pressing the plus button goes to the previous track. And I'm sure this thing is going to confuse a lot of people, as it has confused me. Whenever I would like to control my music, I just pull out my phone or my smartwatch, because it's just way more easier that way. It's a nightmare on these things. As I said earlier, these headphones have some very unique gesture controls. So in order to pause a song which is playing, all you have to do is raise your hand or your fingers about 6 centimeters away from the right ear cup. You do the same gesture while you're making a call in order to hang up, or you do this in order to skip a track. There's no way you can preview. So whenever I'm doing this and I would like to go back, I don't want to use the controls here, so just feel tempted to take out my phone. So you see how the controls are. In order to really get used to the gesture controls is actually quite a steep learning curve, but I found a shortcut to this. So you just raise your arm vertically up like this, like that. It will be perfectly aligned with your ear cup, so you can easily skip. And I've been testing these gesture controls a lot. Like they were like one of the main things that I've been testing on these headphones since I got them. And sometimes when you pass people on the road, they would activate themselves, or when you pass near a car or a car passes you by, it activates itself, or when you're moving past things at home, they just activate themselves. And sometimes maybe you would like to pause a song, you would skip, or you are trying to do the skip gesture and it pauses. Hopefully it would get better in future updates, but that's what you get now. So as I said earlier, controls on this thing, I'll give them a 4 out of 10. Okay, Let's talk about the best features by far about these headphones, which are the batteries. So Oraimo claims that you can get up to 50 hours of listening time from a single charge. And during my testing, I got 43 hours of listening time playing at 40% volume while my phone and laptop were connected at the same time. I got about 57 hours while only my phone was connected, so the battery life on these things are simply insane. I know a lot of people would comfortably use these things for up to a month before ever thinking to charge them. It takes about an hour and 30 minutes to charge them up from 0 to 100% using a standard 15-watt charger. There's another version of these headphones called the BoomPop 2 headphones, and the only difference between the BoomPop 2 headphones and the BoomPop 2S headphones is that the BoomPop 2s come in black and they do not have the gesture controls, and the battery also lasts longer. I think turning off the gesture controls makes the headphones last longer. I don't know, I haven't tested that yet, but that's it. They claim the BoomPop 2 headphones have up to 60 hours of listening time and they cost about $5 less than the BoomPop 2S headphones. So there you have it. At $25, I think these headphones are, I can say these headphones are a steal, and I think a lot of people are going to love these headphones. You have a very durable design, solid hinges, folding design, an ugly color, and great sound and passive noise cancellation. So these are really good headphones. Overall, I give them an 8 out of 10. If you have any more questions about these headphones, you can feel free to leave them in the comment or give me a DM on Instagram. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.